Thank you, Rudy. Boy, it's difficult to be here. A lot of familiar faces, puts more pressure. So as I'm a student of the College of Europe, and I was asked, or I was selected to speak at TEDx, I thought I would go around and ask people around here, what do you think of TEDx? Why would you come to see a TEDx talk? And most of the answers I got from the people who actually knew what TEDx was that it was to listen to people's experiences, to learn from other people's experiences, and to get inspired. People are sick of listening to conferences and seminars all day long. And so, since I'm from the Voltaire promotion, I thought I will base my presentation on a Voltaire quote. So that was this one is a quote that I found. Is there anyone so wise as to learn by the experience of others? It's like, not such a great quote. I didn't like it. So I kept looking, and I found this. The art of quoting is the art of those who cannot think on their own. Boy, that was difficult to cope with. All right, failure right there. That was a big fail. So today, as Rudy and everybody here knows, I am talking about failure. How to cope with failure. I want you to leave the room with one thing in mind. Did I fail? If I did, how did I manage to get out of it? How did I manage to move on? And I want you to reconsider every step where you think you failed and think about how did you identify that you failed? What did you learn? How did you act upon that learning process? And did you grow after these 3 steps as a 4th step? So one would say, all right, failure. Open a dictionary, look for a definition. Great, easy. Failure is blah, 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 blah. But really, what does it mean to you, you, and you? What do you feel? Have you even failed before? How many times do you think you failed? Come on. Be a leader. How many times do you think you failed? Once? You there? Come on, people. You failed a lot. You actually fail more than 365 times a year because you fail every day. You fail to write your paper on time. You fail to call your parents. You fail to text the boyfriend or the girlfriend. Yeah, that's a big failure, by the way. But we fail at every single step of our lives. We just don't necessarily recognize it all the time. I'm going to tell you how you recognize a failure, how I recognize the failure. I was always among the top 5 students in my high school, and I went to law school in Tunis. I was like, yeah, well, school, you know, the usual. But guess what? I failed, and I failed big time. I failed constitutional law. I failed civil law. Disaster. I didn't know what to do. I've never failed in my life, and that was my first failure. But what I knew is I was devastated. I cried days and nights. I literally felt like it was the end of the world. I didn't want to leave my room, and I was just, all right, I'm done. My career is over. What am I going to do now? I've always wanted to become a lawyer, but if I can't make the first step and pass constitutional civil law, there's nothing I can do. But then I thought I was too miserable. And I'm not a miserable person. I'm a very happy person. And so I thought, I need to get out of this situation. Every person who lived this situation needs to get out of it. But how? Well, it's very easy. Or not. It's a matter of practice. I externalized my failure. I attributed it to my cousin, who was this genius that everybody loved and everybody thought, oh my God, she's great. And that, yeah, what if she failed? What would I tell her? What would I be able to do and to help her get out of that misery that I was feeling at that moment? So I detached from my failure, and I gave it to her. And I kept thinking about the nice words I would tell her, the ways I would take her out, buy her chocolates, and all these nice things. And then once I found my little bubble, and once I found how I could interact with her, because me and her were very similar in personalities, I took back my failure. I internalized it again, and I lived it again. But this time, I lived it from an objective standpoint. I detached emotionally from my failure, and I realized that no, this is just the beginning of a very, very long path. This failure is nothing. I can do better. I took back the classes. I passed, average, but I passed. But then I quit the school, and I went on to do economics at another university, and now I'm here at the College of Europe. That was my ACT part, because the learning process was the externalization process. When I acted, I completely changed paths. And I think that everybody, every one of us, can do that. Nobody has a set path to take. Everybody can choose different paths. You always have options. They might not be ideal, but they're there. So I came to the College of Europe. And oh boy, these guys, they're so success-oriented. You can't trick them into failure. There is no way. You should see them, yeah. Tough competition. Tough competition. But one thing I realized is that I really wanted to give this talk to them and to people like them who are so ambitious and want to reach the moon. You can do better than that. One thing you can do is fail and fail again. Because what I did is that I came here with the biggest fear of my life, having to fail constitutional and civil law again. That's why I went into international relations and diplomacy and not law. But then guess what? I was faced with a compulsory course in European law. Haha, my worst nightmare was right there to face me. Another law class. Oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to deal with this? Again? No, I hate it. I will never pass this class. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's such a difficult class. It's really difficult. We need to work hard. So my only purpose in this semester, or the past semester, was to pass my law class. Nothing else mattered. The weather, I could care less. It's gray. Pfft, law is there. I need to face it. But guess what? The day I got my results, and I realized that I had passed my law exam, and I did not fail it, my happiness was double and triple than everybody else, because nobody else had failed that law class before. I failed twice. And that was a proof that I can win. You just have to be persistent, you have to keep dreaming, and you cannot give up. Most importantly, the growth part, that's where I realized that I grew. I understood that I can face the challenges. Even if I faced them before and I failed, I will face them again and I will win. It's just a matter of keeping faith and staying strong and believing in yourself, but above all, fight. They're all F words. Thank you.